For this report and presentation, my group discussed more effective approaches to breed restrictions. This research report analyzes how residents and often places of business have continually discriminated against certain breeds such as pit bulls. The recent generation of adults have been trying to break this stereotypical curse among dog breeds and hopefully regain the world's trust with them and allow them to live in our homes. For a little bit of a background, many dog breeds are not allowed in apartment communities because they are labeled as aggressive or dangerous. In many cases, these accusations are based upon circumstances that are not directly associated with the dog or breed, but how they have been raised in the environment they have been raised in. A prime example of this are pit bulls. Pit bulls were actually bred to be nanny dogs, but have received the title as a dangerous or aggressive breed due to individuals training them to fight. When any animal feels abused or threatened, they will defend themselves in the territory. A big factor in blacklisting of certain dog breeds is due to insurance companies not allowing landlords to allow tenants to have such dogs on their property in order to be covered by insurance. The big problem with blacklisting certain dog breeds is because most residents today, apartment communities and rental homes alike, still have breed restrictions in place, often causing families to become displaced or have to abandon their beloved family pets in order to keep a roof over their heads. These breed restrictions are far outdated and have been disproved time and time again, yet we are still here with a long list of residents that do not accept these dogs, and often if the apartment communities allow the dogs, there is a large upcharge in fees and insurances. The purpose of this report is to show how breed restrictions have impacted the livelihood of these dogs and their success at life. Residents should be shifting their views on these animals, allowing them to live normal until a true problem arises. What is breed-specific legislation? Breed-specific legislation, or BSL for short, also known as breed discriminatory legislation, or BDL for short, is a law that restricts or prohibits ownership of dogs of specific breeds. BSL can be as dramatic as a complete ban of specific breeds. BSL includes laws and governmental regulations that include but are not limited to the following: mandatory muzzling, liability insurance, breed-specific pet limits, and sale or transfer notification requirements. Breeds restricted in rental communities. This is a compiled list that was received from an old apartment community. Breed restrictions vary from one place to another, but this list is the most common. Pit bulls, German shepherds, Rottweilers, Boxers, Doberman, Huskies, and Great Danes are just a few of the dog breeds that are restricted from most apartment communities. And here are a few organizations that do not support BSL. The American Bar Association urges all state and local legislative bodies and governmental agencies to adopt comprehensive, breed-neutral, dangerous dog/reckless owner laws that ensure due process and protection for owners, encourage responsibility pet ownership, and focus on the behavior of both dog owners and dogs, and to repeal any breed discriminatory or breed-specific provisions. The American Kennel Club supports reasonable, enforceable, and non-discriminatory laws to govern the ownership of dogs. The AKC believes that dog owners should be responsible for their dogs. We support laws that establish a fair process by which specific dogs are identified as dangerous based on stated, measurable actions, impose appropriate penalties on irresponsible owners, and establish a well-defined method for dealing with dogs proven to be dangerous. The ASPCA recognizes that dangerous dogs pose a community problem requiring serious attention. However, in light of the absence of scientific data indicating the efficacy of breed-specific laws and the unfair and inhumane targeting of responsible pet guardians and their dogs that inevitably result when these laws are enacted, the ASPCA instead favors effective enforcement of a combination of breed-neutral laws that hold reckless dog guardians accountable for their dog's aggression behavior. The American Veterinary Medical Association supports dangerous animal legislation by state, county, or municipal governments, provided that legislation does not refer to specific breeds or classes of animals. This legislation should be directed at fostering safety and protection of the general public from animals classified as dangerous. Best Friend Animal Society states, though breed discriminatory legislation, or BDL, is often an attempt to improve public safety, studies show that it does not accomplish that objective. Besides being ineffective, These laws are expensive and difficult to enforce and also interfere with citizens' property rights. State Farm Insurance states all dogs can be great dogs, regardless of breed, if they are properly cared for, loved, and trained. State Farm determines risk based on a dog's bite history rather than breed. Thus, State Farm does not exclude insuring households solely based on breed. The following list is fear versus fact, where I explain a common fear, but actually the most important fact about it. Fear: pit bull dogs have locking jaws. In fact, no dog of any breed or mix has an anatomical structure that could be a locking mechanism in their jaw. We found that American Pit Bull Terriers do not have any unique mechanism that would allow these dogs to lock their jaws. There were no mechanical or morphological differences. Pit Bulls attack without warning. In fact, all dogs, including dogs commonly labeled Pit Bull dogs, signal their intent. After doing temperament tests on over 1,000 dogs, the Institute of Animal Welfare and Behavior of the University of Veterinary Medicine in Hanover, Germany, determined no significant difference in behavior between breeds was detected. The results show no indication of dangerousness in specific breeds. Pit bulls are the most dangerous breed type. The fact is, there is no scientific evidence that one kind of dog is more likely to injure another human being. Controlled studies have not identified this breed group to be dangerous. In conclusion, we now understand where most of our laws regarding dogs come from, including laws such as leash requirements, insurance policies, and property posting requirements. We've learned that many stereotypes that people may assume about certain dogs are actually just false. It's all about the training and the environment that the dogs grow up in, which makes them act violent towards their owner or strangers. The most important takeaway from this report is that no dog is designed or bred to be violent or harmful to their owner. So don't let the breed or dog deter you from owning one or allowing one to stay in your house, as long as they have professional training. With each person more knowledgeable about dogs and their behavior, we can let the stigma that particular breeds of dogs should be not allowed in dog parks, apartments, and hotels.